What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be teaching you some tips and tricks I've learned over my time playing StarLord. I've climbed to 1 above all, placed top 8 in one of the tournaments in the beta, and just generally played a decent amount since the release. To start us off, you want to make sure you're always tapping your jetpacks instead of holding them and wasting all your fuel since they take a while to recharge, and you want to always be playing pretty aggro on StarLord. You also want to make sure to bunny hop after you tap your jetpacks so that you can carry your momentum and move quickly around the map. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, but most people will just hold their jetpack. What you want to do is just tap it. Like this, tap, bunny hop, tap, bunny hop. You could really carry a lot of your momentum doing this, and as well as you guys could see, while you're moving around, your fuel will be recharging as you're bunny hopping, so you could still be moving pretty quickly and your fuel will be recharging. When you're playing StarLord, you always want to make sure and use your dash ability as frequently as possible, as it reloads your guns and helps you charge your ultimate really quickly. You also want to remember that your dash is on a super short cooldown of only 5 seconds, so that's the main reason you should try and kind of spam it during fights. You should also keep in mind that your dash ability makes you invulnerable for a short time frame during your dash. So you should save both of your dashes when you're diving that backline support so that you could escape quickly, or if you know the enemy Strange has an ultimate or there's an ability that you need to dodge, as you could dodge that Strange ultimate and a lot of other ultimates, as well as almost every ability in the game with your dashes. You could also utilize your dashes while you're flying around the map, like this. A lot of people don't know that, but you want to make sure that you're using those, like I said, if you're diving those backline support, so that you could get in and get out very quickly without taking any damage. One of the most important things to remember when you're playing StarLord is to always be putting pressure on the enemy team. Mainly the backline supports and the squishies, so that you could help your team fight the front line and just be a nuisance for the backline. There are a lot of times where you do want to be spamming the tanks so that you could quickly build your ultimate, since it could easily win you very important fights and even the game if you use it properly. You also always want to be keeping an eye on which supports have used their ultimate. Don't be afraid to ask your team if the enemy supports have used their ultimate. Did they use their Luna ult or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Since using yours when the enemy supports have their ultimate is pretty much a death sentence, and it will not give you any value at all, which will lead to you losing the fight. Don't be afraid to ask your team if the enemy supports have used their ultimate so that you could time yours when they don't have theirs. Obviously, ultimates like the Shark, Rockets, and Adam Warlocks don't play a factor into this, as they cannot out-heal your damage and will not stop you from just winning the fight with your ultimate. When you are using this ultimate, you want to remember that you could use your dash ability in the ultimate to reload your guns. As you guys can see, you have to reload your guns, but if you use your dash in between, you could output a lot more damage super quickly instead of having to reload. One more thing to remember when you're using your ultimate is if you're versing an enemy StarLord, to save your ultimate for when he has his.
Res you. Hold on, give me a sec. Did I get you? I got you, we're good.
Whenever you're using that ultimate ability, like I said, you only have 2 dashes, so if you use one, you'll be stuck reloading. Even though it's a pretty quick reload, you could die very quickly to another StarLord ultimate if you're not paying attention. So when the enemy StarLord hears you ultimate after he pops his, he will have to either use one of his dashes and waste it, or he'll have to take damage from you pumping into him, and he will have to lose that fight in turn.
Oh, I wish you did realize. At
the bottom, behind.
One more thing to remember when you're playing StarLord is his barrage ability, which is one of the most important abilities on all of StarLord, as it can help you to win a lot of fights pretty easily when you run out of ammo and have no dashes, and more importantly, it helps you to build your ultimate insanely quickly.
I'm gonna shift this one.
Okay, I'm going. I'm eating all the Villa.
Seems they have turned on me. He's fine.
If you dive completely into the enemy team and try to hit all 5 of them with your barrage ability to build that ultimate super quickly. One of the most important times to use the barrage ability is when your supports are using an ultimate so that you could stay healed up while getting greedy and getting a lot of damage, or if both teams are using a support ultimate so that you could dive into their backline and their whole team pretty much and get as much ultimate charge as you can whilst you're not taking any damage. You won't be getting any kills, but you could insanely quickly charge that ultimate ability in order to help you win the fight and win the game sometimes. One more thing that I forgot to mention is when you're using the Star-Lord ultimate, you want to make sure that you're not in the open. You always kind of want to hide behind a wall, pop the ultimate, and then swing out. You could even hide behind a wall, pop the ultimate, and then dash out in order to surprise people and quickly get kills. But most of the time, you just want to be popping it behind a wall, swinging out, and then getting as much damage as you can so that you do not die during that beginning animation of your ultimate, and you can win the fights much easier. The last thing I forgot to mention is the Adam Warlock's Soul Bond ability. Either if you have one, you want to make sure to try and time it with you so that you could go in and dive the whole team while you're being soul bonded and build that ultimate really quickly.
I'm gonna shift this corner.
Okay, I'm going. I'm eating all of the low.
Seems they have turned on me. He's fine.
Or if you're versing an enemy Adam Warlock and you have your ultimate ability, if he uses his soul bond at the same time as you use your ultimate, it will pretty much fully counter your ultimate and stop you from getting those crucial kills, since it will out-heal the damage that you do. It's on a fairly long cooldown of 30 seconds, so you want to try and ask your team if the Adam Warlock has used his Soul Bond ability, and if you don't know if he's used it, you want to make sure to target the Adam Warlock so that you could try to bait out the Soul Bond ability before you use that ultimate. These are pretty much all the tips I have to tell you guys for today. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and drop a comment on what you guys thought about the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, drop a dislike. And overall, if this brought you guys any important information and helped improve your Star-Lord gameplay, please drop a sub so that you could learn more about Star-Lord with future videos. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys did enjoy. And I will see you guys soon with the next video. Peace. Here's one more secret tip for those of you boys who stayed till the very end of the video. When you're reloading, if you use your jetpacks right at the very end, around the 75% marker, then you could reload your guns without having to wait for the full animation. Just like this.
There goes one of them.
If you do it too early, it won't work, but if you do it at just the right time, then you can reload every time without having to wait.
Watch out.